I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the country and camping and crickets and stuff, but I mean, half the world right now, if you just look, you got countries like Ukraine, fucking Israel, you know, Syria, you know, countries that shouldn't be third world countries that just like look like after apocalyptic or post-apocalyptic, right? I don't want our country to ever look like that. And I could just sit out here and I see cars zigging by, and you know, it's just, this is the kind of stuff that lets me know we got a long ways to go before, you know, where people are like, oh, America's getting ran down, you know what I'm saying? What's this country turning? We got a long ways to go before this country is gonna fucking become a third. Well, we're fucking America. We're the greatest country in the world. People are like, oh, the president. Every fucking 4 years you can vote for a new president here in our country, you know? We just had, when Trump was president, he fucking cyberbullied for 4 years. He cyberbullied the enemies of the free world. I'm going to court June 6th for fucking cyberbullying some MMA motherfucker. People just, you know, but whatever. I mean, we got a long ways to go to being like a, you know, great again. You know, I'm not talking about Trump, but just the world. But we got, people always say, oh, the end of the world's coming. You know, we had that crazy eclipse last month. We had those fucking 3 brown or red heifers, you know, Hamas, and people are like, oh, the end of the world's upon us, and just, I don't want to get too religious or sacrilegious for that being said, but you know, whether you are a Christian and believe in the Holy Bible literally, or just you think it's fairy tales, and either way, the great guidelines for stories and stuff, but we got to think, if we're being biblical about it, Jesus Christ, God, in the human form, said not even himself, not even all the angels in heaven are going to know when it happens. So, I mean, remember parts that you read, and I'm going to explain how I see something real quick. In Revelations, we hear rapture. And people think rapture is going to be like, oh, before the end of the world, before the tribulations, all the saved people are just going to, you know, vanish and go. And that sounds great. You got like Left Behind with Kirk Cameron. And so I wish someone would come out with a new 2024 type of Left Behind movies. But that's not rapture. That's not what the rapture is. That theory, the right before all the tribulations and bad stuff, all the saved people in the earth were just going to, you know, disappear and go up into the clouds, was actually, it's not from 1 Thessalonians. That's something totally different. But it's that I don't have a Bible on me, so I can't, you know, I hope I'm saying all this stuff right. I do have a couple college degrees in it. But it's actually, the rapture like that is from some young 14-year-old girl in East Germany or France or something during like the Great Depression or World War II era that was just reading in Bible study or Sunday school, and just, they thought like that, and it became a good way to say it. But here's the thing about rapture. Rapture is when the church is going to be removed from the earth, and rapture is going to happen before the apocalypse, the 4 horsemen. And I'm going to explain for a minute what I think the rapture is, and what I think the 4 horsemen are going to look like, and how I think we have a long ways to go, and if we're careful, we can have even more of a long ways to go, just like, you know, that. So to me, and I'm going to tell you why, like a domino effect, systematically, just like the Bible is written systematically, rapture is when the church is no more, when the whole earth is godless and lawless, okay? And so you know, whether you're like, oh, I'm a hardcore Roman Catholic, and these Buddhist people are going down, you know, let's get off of that for a minute. I mean, if you're a good person, you know, and this is where your church is, and you have a relationship with Christ, you know, but by the time the rapture happens, there's not going to be any good people. The whole world's going to be lawless. You know, it's going to be bad. And then the first horseman is going to come, which is the white horse. And that's the Antichrist. And people are like, oh, Antichrist, we're going to see it. But you're not. When he comes out, white, he's pure. He's going to look like a world leader. It says in Revelations that he's going to trick many people with the wonders. And everyone's going to think that he's the fucking savior. And the only way that they're going to think that someone like that is the savior is if it's a world of lawless, godless already, and finally someone's coming down and he's going to trick all these people with the miracles that he performs, but they're not, it's not Christ. So they're not God's miracle. God doesn't bless you with stuff he doesn't approve of. And think about that, you know, when we're young, we're like, oh God, please let me hook up with this girl, this part. God doesn't bless you with things he doesn't approve of. So when we've lived in a world where the rapture, when there's no churches, there's no Buddhist temples, everyone's evil, and or warlords are getting marauded or whatever, someone comes down and they're finally like, hey, they're good. He looks beautiful looking guy, speaks very good, you know, can manipulate everyone. And the way he pulls everyone together is he starts making laws. But the laws that he has would be laws that, like, it's good for how it's been the last fucking tribulation, couple of thousand years. But like, he'll come down and say, okay, there's not enough food. What if everyone kills their two least favorite people in their family? Kill them off. And by that, right now, we're like, what the fuck? Because there's church. We don't have a rapture. There's church on earth. But when we've lived in a world where there's no laws and for so long and no gods and stuff, and everyone's hungry and getting marauded and stuff, and some man finally comes and unites the whole world, and he starts coming up with like unification laws like that, you know, hey, the sickly people and the weakly people in your family, kill them, eat their food. People are like, oh, that does, you know, so he's gonna trick you with, you know, with these great wonders and stuff. That's the first one, 4 horsemen. The second of the 4 horsemen is gonna be what? The black horse. And you know, he has a scale. And why does he have a scale? That's the mark of the beast. Because now the white horses came, he's unified the whole world without war, with just saying, hey, look, you know, we're gonna pull together, we're gonna do this, but it's all ungodly things. You know, you're gonna have sex with every woman so we can reproduce. That's ungodly, you know, stuff like that. And then once everybody gets into the mix of doing what the white horse, the Antichrist, wants to do, then the black horse comes, and that's the mark of the beast. That's the guy with the scales who's gonna say, okay, by communism, okay, 4 bowls of cereal per family now. Scale that out. You know, only 2 people can go to the hospital every month. Scale that out. You know, you got to get the mark of the beast. It's not going to be like people are thinking like, don't get the mark of the beast. Why would I even fall for that? Everybody's going to want mark of the beast during that time. Because you're not going to be able to go to hospitals. You're not going to be able to go shopping. You're not going to be able to, you know, do anything if you don't have the mark of the beast. So everyone's going to want the mark of the beast. It's going to seem very exclusive. And some people aren't going to get the mark of the beast. And those are going to be the people that are getting fucking sick and hungry. And, you know, they're not getting jobs and stuff now and stuff. And then the 3rd horseman comes out. And what horseman is that? The red horse. And the rider of the red horse has been granted the authority from God to use a sword and take peace from people. And people are like, that doesn't make sense. But here's the thing. And we're like Judeo-Christian. And Jewish literature and the way the Jews thought was back in the day, the Babylonians, Genghis Khan, you know, all these conquerors who weren't Jewish, God sent them because the Jewish people finally, you know, God was blessing them and giving them nice things to live in and nice lifestyle, and they took it for granted, and they started doing bad stuff. So God said, oh, I got to bring one of these guys. I'm going to grant this motherfucking Neanderthal authority to kill all these motherfuckers and send them to exile. So that's what this guy's going to be. So the 3rd horse is going to be war and stuff. And it's going to be like, you know, the war is going to be the guys who don't have the marks of the beast and stuff. You think of like, let's think of a movie. I don't tell my age right. Demolition Man. Where it's like all the people that lived above ground could go eat little things and do all this cool scientific, you know, stuff. But the people that lived underground couldn't do any of that stuff because they didn't have the mark of the beast. And there was wars going on and stuff. So the 1st horseman is going to like trick everybody into thinking, hey, we're all going to pull together and we're going to, you know, we're going to set these standards up and stuff. Then the 2nd horseman's the black horse is going to say, okay, the standards have been set up. This guy's not doing it. Bad. This guy's not doing bad and stuff. And then the 3rd horseman's going to be the red horse. And he's going to say, okay, we have a whole region of motherfuckers not following and obeying the fucking New World Order. Wartime, you know, and the whole fucking world's going to fucking start fighting. It's like a real world war. And then the 4th horseman is the pale horse. And all of death came behind him. And people thinking, oh, that's a plague. That's what happens after many, many years of the white horse saying that only certain people can eat, the black horse enforcing that and charging, you know, saying the red horse making all these hungry people with no medical and stuff fight each other. And that after years of that, all, you know, infections, hunger, famine, animals getting hungry, you know, and it's over. It's all over then. You know, the end of the world is coming. It happens like that. It ain't no fucking red cow. It ain't no fucking motherfucker from Hamas or whatever that fucking terrorist name. You know, it's that. And it says in the Bible, you know, not even the angels in the sky know when that day's gonna happen. But I can tell you what. I can tell you what we can do to make sure that never happens, or to make sure we're a long ways away. Just like when I say we're a long ways away from being a third world country. Look how busy it is out here. And that's by never letting the church rapture. Okay, what did I say the rapture of the church was? When the whole earth is now ungodly, unholy, unnice, unlawless. Let's not do that. Let's be nice to someone. Call someone right now and apologize to them. Apologize, right? Be nice to someone. Hold the door for someone. Go out. Don't worry about fasting for a prayer. Don't worry about, you know, do something nice. Do something nice, okay? Do something nice for someone. Don't let the church be raptured, okay? This is not a holyless and godless and lawless country now. I'm Tim Harrell, and thanks for sitting out here and letting me vent.